Hey everyone, yes, I'm up way past my bedtime, but I was coming home after a wonderful salad in the jar party and talking about health and nutrition, and I thought I would come home and make my kefir. And I've had so many people asking me about it, and I just wanted to show you how ridiculously easy it is. It's really not that hard, and you can easily make this. It just takes every 48 days, if you can just remember every 48 days, to just do this process over and over again, then you are good with kefir. So I'm just going to show you. You need a airtight bottle with a little topper. Got this for $5.99 at Target. So there's that. You need grape juice, or some people like to flavor theirs differently. I like grape juice, and I get this at Publix. It's their Greenwise non-GMO organic grape juice. You don't want like added sugars, or you just want it to be natural. And then organic raisins, that's what you call them, grapes, raisins. Sugar in the raw. I don't know what it is about. Hi, sorry. I have this great bowl that I use all the time for like everything. So I'm going to strain. So here are my kefir grains. Aren't they pretty? It's like so that's them at the bottom right there. And this is the kefir. So that's they've produced. They've eaten the sugar and they've produced for us to drink. Now, you could literally strain this and drink this, and it has the health benefits that you would need. But I prefer to make it a more enjoyable experience, and I will show you the flavoring in just a minute. So. Okay, so this is your kefir, and I have this as the topping. So this is a coffee filter so that it can breathe. Now I'm going to show you, pardon me, the shaky camera. Okay, so can you guys see my raisins are kind of floating in there? I'm just going to pick these out and throw them in the sink. So the kefir grains love to eat the sugar from the raisins, so they float. I've actually noticed that when it's time to change, the raisins float to the top. It's almost like, I guess, the sugar that's weighing them down. Once it goes away, they float to the top. So I'm taking that out, and I'm taking my cheesecloth, and I wrap it around the top like this, and I'm just going to dump this. I wish I could do both, but I can't. So I'm going to maybe I can move the camera. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. See, we'll angle it the best I can. Okay, like this. Alright. You can see into my sink, right? Okay, I just move the bowl over. There you go. Alright, so I always pull up a little bit at the top, because otherwise it goes inside. I'm sure there's some science behind it. So I just dump this. And as you can see, the kefir that I'm going to drink is right there in the bowl. And then my kefir grains are inside the cheesecloth. So I'm going to wring them out like that. And they're so pretty. So you can see there are my kefir grains. Okay, so I usually take some filtered water. I don't know what the deal is with 20 ounces, but that's my magic number. So I fill this up with 20 ounces of filtered water. Sorry, my really bad cameramanship here. I guess it's because I'm by myself. So I'm going to fill this up with 20 ounces of water. So I'll be right back as I fill it up from my fridge. You guys are so great to wait on me patiently. I wasn't thinking this through supposedly here. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get 20 ounces in that jar that the grains are sitting in, because the grains get really, really like baby. So there's still some grains in the jar. So when I put the filtered in there, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do, it gets the rest of them out. And then I'm going to put 20 ounces in this that I'm going to use in just a minute. So, 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. You see that stuff right there? Those are kefir grains that are still in my jar. So what I do, and again, I'm going to move this. Again, bad cameramanship here. Let's see if I can fix this so you can see into the sink again. Okay, so what I do is I hold the kefir. Wow, I'm having a hard time here. So I'm holding my kefir grains like this. Can you guys see that? Okay. And then I'm just going to pour the filtered water, and it's kind of just like rinsing them. And then I'm getting the rest of those kefir grains out of there. I'm just rinsing. Ooh, oh, and see, I see an extra little, there's another raisin that I got there. I'll make sure you get all your raisins out. Alright. And it's okay for you to touch your kefir grains. It's not like if you touch them they'll go bad or anything like that. So I just like to rinse them. And then one thing too is they're very temperature sensitive. So like if you're going out of town, you can do this process and then stick them in the fridge, and they can go like it's kind of like the science. There's more energy when it's hot, so they move around more, and when it's cold, they kind of go to sleep. So if you're going out of town and you don't want your grains to die, you can put them in the fridge. And then also in the summertime, when your house is a little hotter, they might produce faster than 48 hours, so you kind of want to watch that. And like I said, I can kind of tell because the raisins will float to the top. That kind of tells me that they're ready to process. So I'm going to stick what I just filtered out over to the side here. And then with this jar right here, this is where they were in. I'm just going to rinse it out. And one thing that you want to make sure that you're using filtered water, because the chemicals that you have in the regular tap water could kill the kefir grains, so you want to use filtered. So I'm just going to rinse this out with filtered just to make sure, just because I'm paranoid, because that's me. I'll be right back. Okay, so the sugar in the raw that I showed you, you want to take 1/3 cup of that. So I take 1/3 cup of that, and I stick it into, like, I take a cup of water, cup of filtered water, and I bring it to a boil, and then I stick 1/3 cup of this so that it dissolves. So, because these are very thick granules, and you don't want to just stick that in the kefir. So I did that earlier so that it was cool, because you don't want to take boiling hot water and put your kefir grains in it. So I dissolved the sugar earlier this evening, so I have that. And it makes this pretty brown color. See, it's so pretty. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There it is. Okay, so that's my sugar water. And I'm going to stick that in my mason jar. And this is just a quart mason jar is what I use. So I'll have to drop it. Okay, so I have my sugar water that I'm putting in there. Yay. Okay, so there's that. And as you can see, it's only like a cup, because I put a cup of water. And then I have my 20 ounces of filtered water that I add to it. So, okay, so as you can see, now I have all the yummy food for the kefir to eat. I usually put about 5 to 6 raisins in there because they like the sugar from the raisins. So I'm going to add some raisins in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So this is the process of you changing out your grains. As you can see, that was super easy. I filtered them, then I rinsed them with 20 ounces of filtered water, and then I remade this food water by dissolving 1/3 cup of the raw sugar in the raw, 20 ounces of filtered water. I put 5 to 6 raisins in there. So now I just need to put the grains back in there. So here's the little trick I do. And again, let's see if I can get the camera so you can see it. Alright, so here's my jar. And what I normally do is I take the kefir like this. So those are my grains, and I kind of hold it and I just dump. And I stick the cloth, and I kind of dump the cloth in there and dunk it, because you're going to get some grains on the cheesecloth, and I just dunk it in the water to get the grains in the water. So all the grains are happy again. So there you go. So now you've switched out your grains. They're ready to go for another 48 hours. And I actually do mine for, let me do the math, 48 plus 12, which would be 60. I do mine for 60 hours. I don't know why, for some reason, they can just go that long. And I think it's because it's cold. In the summertime, 48 hours I have to go because they're ready to go. So now, remember, these like to breathe. So you're going to want to put the coffee filter over the top, like so. And then I just put the lid of the mason jar and just kind of screw that coffee filter on there. And they like warm areas. Like I said, the warmer they are, the more they're going to work. And I've heard of some people putting this in their laundry room because, you know, your laundry room is kind of warm. I don't have a place where it could stand sturdy. So I set mine next to my stove. So when I cook, it gets warm. So I've switched out the grains. Now's the part for making it for when you drink it. So I have this. Remember, I filtered it, and I have the liquid. Again, you could drink this just like that. But I don't know how that would taste. I've never tried it. Maybe I should try it. But I'm taking the airtight bottle, and I'm going to put a funnel on it. And let me put it so you guys can see again. I'm sorry for my really bad cameramanship. Okay, so here's my funnel. I'm just going to pour that in there. Okay. And then you can choose whatever flavoring you want. I just prefer the grape. There's like an old wives' tale that if you drink grape juice every day, you can avoid the stomach bug. I don't know why grape is so great, but I like it. I guess the sweetness of it, I don't know. So you're going to want to fill the rest of the bottle up with the grape. So it's like a science experiment. You're mixing it. Okay, so I ran out. And I don't know if you can even see that. Bad. I ran out, and the liquid is right here, and it's not quite up to the neck of the bottle, so you want to put it till it gets to the neck of the bottle. It really helps for when it's going to fizz. So like this process here, sorry, let me finish what I'm doing here. Can't talk and pour at the same time, apparently. All right. So now, this is what they call double fermenting. So yes, I have flavored it, and yes, you could drink it like this, but I like fizzy stuff. So this is why the airtight bottle is so important. So I'm clicking it shut. So now it's airtight in there. And you let this sit for 24 more hours. And in 24 hours, it'll be like a nice fizzy grape juice, like a grape soda. So I love that. I'm a big carbonated fan. In fact, I just drink carbonated water because I just love the carbonation. So that's why you need that airtight bottle. If you don't care about the carbonation, or if carbonation bothers you, then don't even worry about it. Just flavor it and let it go. But this second step is what does the whole carbonation. So I usually leave mine in the sink. And the reason I say to do that is I had to learn this the hard way. But like I said, in the summertime, and things are warm and they're working a lot harder, that pressure is building up because obviously it's carbonation. I've busted several bottles. Like the pressure built up so much that the bottle just exploded. And I'm sure Mike hates it. He's actually even asked, why do we have to make this stuff? So now I've learned to leave it in my sink. So if it does explode, most of it's all in my sink. But I've actually mastered it now. It's literally 24 hours. If it's hotter, I usually burp it, meaning like you pop the top so that some of the air can come out. Like, you know, just pull it off and it'll go psh, like a Coke would, and then you can close it back. Or just if you test it, and if you do that and it does the psh sound, well then it's already carbonated. So go ahead and close it and stick it in your fridge. But that's how you make kefir. And like I said, that was super easy. And you get grains. Just check around. I know here locally, Canton, Woodstock area, Carlton Farms delivers their truck with milk and stuff, and they're behind Bread Becker's, and they have kefir grains, and they're $10 for a ton of them. So like if you're doing this, you could probably split it between 2 people. So it's great. They also, kefir multiplies because it's a living organism. So once it gets warmer and my grains start multiplying, I can share with people. In fact, I could probably split what I have now. So if you want to start doing it and you're local, I have some grains for you. So enjoy. Y'all have a good evening, and I will talk to you soon.